there, quilty friend, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and today we're doing week 2 of series 2 of the Quilt Trading Cards. There are 9 blocks in series 2 of the Quilt Trading Cards. We did one last week, and now we get to pick which one we're going to do this week. We're going to go with Jo Westfoot. Jo is from England. She's a quilt teacher and pattern designer. She's an philosopher for Orfil thread. A fun fact is she has lived in 5 different countries, and her website is thecraftynomad.co.uk. And we're going to be making this fun little block right here. So let's go ahead and grab our fabric pieces and see what we need to do. We're going to start with our 2 large squares, putting them right sides together, and we're going to do 8 at a time half square triangles to make our 8 half square triangles. And this is the method that we use on all the quilt trading cards, is this 8 at a time half square triangle method. Now this 8 at a time half square triangle method we use on quite a few blocks for the quilt trading cards. It's a really quick way to make lots of half square triangles. And I'm using a friction pen here because it's on the back of fabric. I never use friction pens on the front of fabric, but this one's been sitting a while. And so the ink, I think, has settled to the back of the pen. I'm trying to get the ink to come to the front of the pen. So after I'm done with this, I will be setting this pen tip side down so that hopefully the ink will do its thing and filter back down to the tip where it's useful. Now, I actually only needed to mark the X. I got myself carried away. These other 2 are just going to be cut lines, but I've already drawn them. It's fine. So we just are going to sew on the X. And it's actually not on the X. It is on either side of the X. So we're going sewing 1/4 inch on either side of the X. Now we've stitched 4 times, each time 1/4 inch away from one of those diagonal lines. And now we can cut on these extra lines that I drew, as well as on those diagonal lines. And that's going to make us 8 half square triangles. Alright, all these are getting pressed towards the dark. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and square these up to 3 inches. And I don't know where my other 5-inch square up is, so I'm just going to use this 5-inch square up that's part of my advent calendar set that I have handy. I know somewhere I have like a 5.5-inch square up. Don't know where it is, so we'll just use this one. It's fine. But using my big 9-inch ruler that we used last week just feels really big for this. It absolutely can be used, but it's just a lot of ruler for a little block. And now we're going to lay out the pieces that we need. There we go. So we're going to be making like a little 4 patch here. And I've stacked up 4 of each unit in each corner because I'm going to go ahead and sew them all at the same time. So I'm going to sew these 2 together 4 times and these 2 together 4 times. And then we're going to press away from the half square triangle towards the non-piece side. And then I'll be able to sew these all together, and those will be our little 4 patch units. Just go ahead and bring it to the machine. Alright, we've got our 2 rows, and this seam right here in the middle should nest, so I can just slide them together and I can feel with my fingers, because the seam on this side is going this way and the seam on this side is going this way. So that creates like 2 little hills that nest right up against each other. And nesting those will help give me really beautiful points when this opens up. So just need to sew all these 4 pairs, or 4, they're 4 patches really, 4 patches together. Alright, these 4 patches have been made, and now we open this up, and we can press the seam in one direction, but I actually like to spin my seams. This seam is going up, this seam is going down, so we're going to continue counterclockwise like that, and that'll pop this center open, and what that does is it just reduces the bulk by spinning it all the way around. You don't get a big lump there in the middle of your 4 patch. And I love spinning seams on my 4 patches. There we go. We're going to repeat that 3 more times to make our 4 patches, and then we get to lay out the pieces for our block. I use this light and green stripe for my background fabric, and so I intentionally let it go whichever way. It looks like on this one I got all my stripes going the same direction. This one I got all of them going the same direction. This one I guess I could have had I rotated that, and this one I could have had I rotated that. So I could have gotten them all going in the same direction if I wanted to. I just chose not to. But now, just like last week, this has now become an uneven 9 patch. So I'm going to add this one to that, this one to that, this one to that. I'm going to add the 3rd one on, and that's going to make my 3 rows. I'm going to press towards the middle, and then this one's going to go out, and this one's toward the middle. And because this is towards the middle and this one's out, that's going to allow these seams to nest when I sew all 3 rows together. So let's go ahead and get this stitched up. Alright, our rows are sewn into rows, and now we get to sew our rows together. And these seams right here should just nest beautifully to give us nice crisp points. Yay! That's it! We're done with Joe's block. We can add it right here on the wall. I want to clip her card back onto it. And so every Tuesday for 7 more weeks, we'll be here making these blocks for the series 2 of Quilt Trading Cards. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. If you're not already subscribed, I don't know what's keeping you. Hit that subscribe button. And friends, I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.